A lot of brands think they have a retention problem. They think they need a better loyalty program, or longer email flows, or even a new points system. But the truth, they don't have a retention problem, they have a conviction problem. Retention isn't about getting customers to buy again. It's about making them want to buy again. And that starts way before they even make their first purchase. For those new to the channel, I'm Matt Pirelli, principal at Email Engineers. My agency where 7 to 9 figure e-commerce brands go to whenever they need to scale email sales and retention. And in this video, I'll explain exactly how to increase lifetime value with data. So, retention isn't a post-purchase problem. Thinking it is like thinking your relationship is over only after your partners pack their bags and start dating some crypto millionaire dork. No, it was probably over way before that. So if a brand didn't make their customer fall in love with what they bought, they're just hoping they'll stay for the leftovers, so to speak. Nobody gets excited about leftovers unless they are last night barbecue ribs or pizza. I won't judge you though. Leftover pizza for breakfast is just S tier. Anyway, most brands think of retention as a post-purchase problem. How do we get customers to buy again? How do we increase lifetime value? The way I see it, that is the wrong question to ask. The right question is, did they ever believe in your brand in the first place? If the first purchase wasn't made with conviction, there is no reason for them to come back at all. For example, let's say we sell a protein powder. And what makes this special is so to make the whey, instead of cow's milk, it uses goat milk. So for those who are intolerant to regular milk, they can use this instead without any of the gut issues. So because of this, they sell this and they have a premium positioning, and so they charge 20 to 30% more than the typical protein powder. But if someone purchased this without conviction, they just purchased this because the ad that they saw was compelling or just funny, or the emails looked beautiful, or the girl that was promoting this was hot, then it's very unlikely they're going to buy again. Next time, they'll probably just buy from whichever protein powder they think it's cool at that time, or whichever is cheaper. So if they didn't believe in the product's superiority, they didn't have conviction in the first place, they simply won't buy again. So retention starts with believing. And believing requires conviction. If they don't believe in you and your products and they don't have full conviction, they won't buy again. What I say, that retention is not about sending more reminders or bribes or points. It's about making them want to buy in the first place. And this starts with conviction building. This strategy simply says that to get someone to purchase, we have to cross the conviction threshold. Every person has a minimum level of persuasion needed, of belief needed before they buy and before they are truly sold into your brand and into your products. So this is called the conviction threshold. And to get someone over this threshold, we have to stack enough of two powerful forces. They are called trust and desire. If you stack enough, you cross the conviction threshold and you get someone to purchase. So trust plus desire equals conviction. Trust simply means I believe that this brand is going to deliver on its promise. Back to the whey protein example. There are many things they have to believe, like, is this actual goat protein? Is this of the highest quality available? Are they lab tested? And if so, is this testing legit? Have other people purchased? Have other people similar to me purchased? What do they think about it? Do I trust this brand's mission, values, what they stand for? For example, Apple users don't need to be reminded to buy the next iPhone. They know it's going to be good because they trust the brand. They trust the whole ecosystem they built through the years. So you need trust to get the sale, not only desire. So to drive this idea home, let me explain what happens if there's a situation of high desire but low trust. This will be the equivalent of you being in downtown, for example, being super hungry, meaning you have a desire to eat food, but the first thing you see is just a sketchy food truck that doesn't compel you, that you simply do not trust. You have desire, but you don't have trust. So you don't have enough conviction to buy, and you don't. And to build desire through email marketing specifically, we've found over 70 ways through the years. Which method to use depends on the actual brand. For example, everyone knows about social proof, but for some brands, over-relying on social proof can actually scare people away. You don't see Apple doing marketing and sending you emails about customers' reviews and testimonials. So there's actually some nuance in these methods. But in any way, let me give you some examples. If you have a strong guarantee, making sure to drive that home with a very compelling email is a great way to build trust. Now, this doesn't mean what I've seen a lot of brands do is when they have a guarantee and they just add it at the bottom of an email, right? So it doesn't feel special. It doesn't stand out at all. What I'm talking about here is something that we do for our clients when we have a whole really long email explaining the guarantees, sometimes even telling a story of someone who used this guarantee to prove that this is real, to get people to believe in us, to trust us. So a small design section is most likely not gonna cut it. Assuming, of course, what your buyers need is a strong guarantee. In other industries, for example, those super competitive like beauty, skincare, supplements, even to a degree, what makes people buy is what the brand stands for. That is why there's a lot of founder-led brands that scale like crazy, because the founder stands for something. Email marketing is a nice way to amplify that message when done right. We will do this with text-based emails, which I have a whole series of videos around that and why they more often than not perform better than the beautiful designed emails. So it's going to be linked somewhere here now or in the description. So that is the trust aspect of the formula. Let's double click on desire now. An increasing desire is getting someone from I can kind of wait, I don't need it now, honestly, to I need to buy this now and I need to buy this from you and you only. And again, over the years, we have found over 7 ways to build desire through email marketing specifically. One of those methods is not selling their product, but selling who they want to become. Let me give you an example. Nike doesn't sell shoes. They sell the athlete's identity. Every ad reinforces that buying Nike means being an athlete. So what Nike does with every piece of their marketing is they sell on customers seeing themselves as athletes. If they get someone to see themselves as an athlete, and Nike is what makes someone an athlete, then buying Nike becomes mandatory. It's just the first domino. So here we have the identity, here we have the shoe. The progression here is simply natural. That is one way to build desire. And that works in a lot of industries. Even in supplements is an example, beauty, skincare, clothing, lifestyle brand, luxury, of course. So one last time to drive this method home. Nike doesn't sell shoes. They sell the dream of being an athlete. Apple doesn't sell computers. They sell the dream of being an enlightened, minimalistic genius who drinks oat milk, lattes, and just judges people using Android. And again, there is the case when someone has high trust but low desire, so the sale doesn't happen. A simple example would be a friend recommending you to buy something that you simply do not want, or that you don't know that you want or that you need. For example, they tell you to get an air fryer, but you've never cooked, so you don't really care. So unless that friend found a way to create desire, you're simply not going to care. No, I personally love my air fryer. I'm a certified air fryer abuser. Honestly, my thesis is that everything that can be cooked should be cooked in an air fryer. Everything. I've done something. I'm going to confess something now, so keep the private between us. I've cooked steaks on the air fryer and they are amazing. The secret is good seasoning, and if you're feeling fat like I most often do, put 1/3 to 1/2 of a bar of butter on top and just trust me. Anyway, you need both trust and desire to get the sale. Doing this is the strategy we use with our clients, high 7 to 9 figure e-commerce brands, to get their emails to convert sometimes 10 times better than their competition. Because every email resonates, open rates are higher, click rates are higher, conversion rate, which is the most important thing, are also higher. And as a consequence, revenue per recipient is also higher. So email becomes more efficient, but most importantly, generates more sales and more profit. Because as you've seen, we don't rely on discounts to get the sale, but on building conviction, building belief. And this is honestly a repeatable process. It's just a formula that we follow every single time with different clients across different industry. Again, this works for supplements, skincare, clothing brands. Being more specific, we've used this with brands that sell saunas, vegan condoms, special car oil, anything that needs belief, that needs conviction to be sold. Normally, your clients also have that premium positioning, so we need to sell their why customers should pay that extra 20 to 30%, and we reinforce that positioning idea. So at the end of the day, it's just a nice loop that increases revenue and, most importantly, profit. The opposite of this approach is brands that treat email marketing. They treat their subscribers like ATM machines. They only rely on discounts and flash sales. They beg people to come back, but this just creates discount junkies. It simply doesn't work. Again, treating your email list like a bank account that you can withdraw from every time you need cash doesn't work if you never made deposits in the first place. These emails feel desperate, and honestly, most times there are, and repel people from buying from these brands with premium positioning, from category leader brands. A real retention strategy begins with creating conviction first. The opposite is what I call the landlord strategy. You don't get good morning text from your landlord or how's your day. And if you did, that would be kind of worrying thoughts. But it's only where's my money, peasant? That is how some brands treat their email marketing. That is the landlord email marketing strategy. And simply doesn't work because nobody sticks around. There's no LTV in this strategy. A brand who does this strategy of discount, flash sales, begging, the campaign sales look like this. It's a lot like a hit and miss. Sometimes some campaigns get sales, some don't, some get a few, some others don't get any. The opposite is conviction building, and it lets you generate consistent sales. It turns emails into a reliable sales machine, and by default into a reliable retention machine, which is what it was supposed to be in the first place all this time. This is how we get our clients' email accounts or Klaviyo accounts in general. I enforce all of our clients use Klaviyo because it's just simply the best email software there is at the moment. It's 10 to 20% more expensive, but the extra features make it all worth it. So this is how we get our clients to have 40, sometimes even 45, 50% of their sales coming through email month after month consistently. So now let me give you 3 ways to retain a customer before they even buy. And this is critical. Number 1, pre-sale conviction. The best brands make the first purchase feel like a destiny moment, like the universe aligned, the stars align, just to make you click buy now. The worst brands feel like a sketchy guy in an alley offering you a premium Rolex for just $20. There are plenty of ways to make customers feel this way, feel like the universe aligned for them to buy. One is just having a magnetic positioning. For example, selling the identity, not the product, like Nike does. So that is increasing desire, creating a lot of trust to get people to realize this is the brand I've been looking for this whole time. Or using high conviction offers that are simply irresistible for someone in your market to pass. We have a skincare client. An example would be creating a bundle and calling, for example, 20 years younger, and then adding to the bundle like 3 anti-aging products, like a face serum, an oil, and a cream of some sort, for example. But now you're not selling a product. You're selling 20 years younger. The sale becomes inevitable, and as a nice side benefit, you increase your average order value, so you're more profitable on the first sale. So that is how you retain someone before they even buy. After they buy, it's just as critical if we want to retain someone forever. So this is post-purchase conviction. Here's the secret. When someone buys from you, it shouldn't feel as they just completed something. It should feel as they just started something. Like every piece fall into place finally. Some ways to do this. Founder post-purchase emails, personal text-based emails coming from the founder, brand indoctrination sequences, that tell on the philosophy, the reason why they started the brand in the first place. Let me show you an example of this. This is for a skincare brand, Imbler. And this is a really long, over 1,000 words email. And the whole purpose of this is to create trust and create desire. This is the perfect example of a conviction building email. So this is a welcome email that can also be labeled as a post-purchase email with just a few tweaks here and there in the copy, which you will realize anyway. So let's read this. Hey, Blair here from the Imbler team. Just wanted to reach out and let you know to keep an eye on your inbox. I'm going to be personally sending you some awesome emails throughout the weeks and contain helpful skincare tips, stories, and special discounts. So keep a lookout for any messages from me. Here's a quick introduction to me and how Imbler changed my life. It all started about 14 months ago. At that time, I've had fine lines and wrinkles on my face for quite a while. At 63 years young, it's expected. It was nothing out of the ordinary. That was until one morning when I woke up, got out of bed, looked at myself in the mirror, and well, it almost seemed like the lines on my face grew deeper overnight. I'm not sure why, but the wrinkles stood out to me more than usual. Am I really getting this old? I thought to myself. I'm not that old yet. But that morning, the lines around my eyes, mouth, and on my forehead told a different story. And as time went on, it just got worse. Believe it or not, I tried to hide it from the world. Avoiding pictures, avoiding any events or gatherings with friends. I felt way older than I really was. I know that is a bit extreme. It's just wrinkles. Yes, that's true, but I couldn't help it. I don't see anything wrong with trying to look your best for as long as you can. And that's exactly what I decided to do. If there was a way to iron out those wrinkles, look younger, and get my confidence back, I was going to find it. So I started searching. Was it easy? Definitely not. I spent the next few months experimenting with anything I could find. Face oils, masks, retinoids, acids, and everything in between. Some made small differences, and others didn't help at all. Some even seemed to damage my skin more than they helped. Putting oils and serums to the side, I decided to look for bigger and more impactful options. Surgeries and facial treatments? No, thanks. They had potential risks I was not comfortable with. Not to mention the price tag. Not for me. I wanted something natural I could do at home. And it wasn't long before I ran out of ideas. Then, one rainy Tuesday afternoon, I ran into an old friend at the grocery store. What blew me away? She's the same age as me, but looked years younger, even younger than when I last saw her. Looking at her face, it was smooth, no crow's feet, no wrinkles, and no lines across her face. She almost had a youthful glow to her. I couldn't resist asking, "What is your secret?" She looked at me, glanced around, leaned in, and whispered, "Search for Rejuvenate Face Serum from Imbler on Google." Ha, I thought. No thanks, not another serum. That night, as I was lying in bed, I told my husband about whom I had run into. Telling him about how young she looked prompted us to look at her Facebook pictures. And it was clear. She was literally aging backward. Her most recent photo showed her skin looking younger, clearer, and smoother than it did before. I was honestly in disbelief. I stood up, walked into the bathroom, and looked at my own skin. The difference was huge. With the feeling of frustration pushing up my body, I caved and went into Imbler's website. I had to find out why the specific serum is so different than everything I've tried. Then I read about this. The Rejuvenate Face Serum uses a unique multi-weight formula. What? Simply put, it uses ingredients of different sizes or weights. This helps the serum get deep into your skin, reaching areas most other skincare products can't. It's almost like it hydrates your skin from the inside out, tackling aging at its source. That, combined with the fact that in a study of 30 women who used Imbler serum for 150 days, 100% said their skin looked younger. 95% noticed fewer wrinkles and fine lines, and another 95% observed their dark spots appear brighter and more evened out. It pushed me over the edge. I ordered 3 bottles of their serum. If I was going to try it, I was going to go all the way. A few days later, I had knocks at my front door, and sure enough, there it was. I took the package, cut it open, and pulled out the bottles of face serum. I immediately went to the bathroom and massaged some drops into my face. It felt smooth on my skin, almost luxurious, and it absorbed almost instantly. which was surprising. Up to this point, most serums I tried barely absorbed at all and left my skin feeling sticky. But not this one. I kept applying it every morning and night for the next few weeks. With time, I could see my wrinkles starting to look lighter, fine lines reducing, and almost every week I saw a younger version of myself staring at me in the mirror. When did I really know this? When did I really know it was working? When people started giving me compliments. My husband, kids, family, and friends were all commenting how good my skin was looking. This took my confidence to a whole new level. I finally felt as young as I really was. What are you using for your skin? They would ask. Of course, I will send them to Imbler. In fact, I was so surprised at how effective the serum was that I reached out to the Imbler team. What ended up happening? I became a part of their team to help spread this serum to more women around the world. Now we help over 4,000 women around the world look and feel younger. Amazing, isn't it? Try the Rejuvenate Face Serum for yourself. You'll love the difference it makes. Blair, the Imbler team. I was surprisingly long. That's what she said. But someone in the market, a woman like this, is gonna devour this email. These are the types of emails which convert 10 times higher than what the average industry is sending. Of course, it took my team a lot of effort to put this together, but you have to understand something. This is what works. This is what we have to do as marketers in 2025. We can no longer put a few claims on a beautiful email, send it, and call it a day. Customers have evolved. Subscribers have evolved. Even email marketing has evolved. This is what works. It requires a lot of effort, but the payout is huge, especially for high 7, 8, 9-figure brands, when the effect of this gets just amplified. So I'm sure you, as the good marketer you are, recognize a few tricks that we implemented here to drive our total value up, to create trust, to create conviction, to resonate with their pain points, and make this person and the brand feel like they're one of us. Back here, this is a way to create conviction post-purchase. Some people think that post-purchase flows and sequences are just about cross-selling. But the truth is that to drive lifetime value, to drive retention, you have to sell people on what they just purchased. We have the benefit that they just literally paid money. And they paid money, honestly, they don't know it, but they are paying money for them to listen to us. If you go into your email analytics, you'll recognize that buyers have on average anything from 10 to 50% higher open rates than the rest. You can easily see that data. But not only that, on a psychological level, these people are more likely to take what we are saying at face value because they paid money, so they are more invested now. That's the consistency psychological principle of influence, and it works just so well. So for example, the equivalent here is, imagine every time you walk into a bar, the bartender already knows your drink, the DJ played your favorite song, and the hottest girl or guy made eye contact with you and smiled, all together. That is what a proper post-purchase sequence should feel like. For me, only one out of these 4 happen. Like I walk into a bar and that's it. No, wait, maybe a guy smiles at me. And then finally, we'll have our typical conviction building arsenal of emails. You can sell storytelling emails to resell them on the thing that they just purchased, telling a story like the one you just read. Another way to create desire is what we call amplifying the mouse. So this comes from the advertising principle that you don't sell the mousetrap. Instead, you create bigger mouses, more terrifying mouses. If you make the problem bigger, make sure to remind them about the problem. They just keep using your product as a side effect. And then the third way to retain a customer is with consistency. So it's taking the effects of conviction building, but sticking to them week after week, month after month, multiple times through the week. This type of emails, which do not feel like a sales pitch at all, and they do not feel like begging, you can get away with sending 5, 6, 7 emails a week of this because they resonate with subscribers at a deep level. So I don't know about you, but I have a lot of things that I either read or watch or listen to consistently. Podcasts, YouTube video creators, newsletter I'm subscribed, and I just look forward to them because they resonate with me for whatever reason it is. So that is being consistent with your conviction building. The opposite is just emails that are, hey, we have a sale. But that is like the retention equivalent of a marriage where the only conversation is What's for dinner? There's no passion, no excitement. It's just obligation. It's just transactional. So again, conviction isn't a one and done thing. It's like keeping a fire going. You just don't light it once and then walk away. You have to keep adding wood, stoking the flames, making sure it doesn't die out. If you let it burn out, people wander to find warmth somewhere else. And there's a 2,000-year-old brand that proves this, and is potentially the most powerful of them all. No one has proved this better than Christianity. It's a 2,000-year-old brand that understood conviction building long before marketing ever existed. Weekly sermons, rituals, symbols, community reinforcement. It's all designed to keep that belief alive, to reaffirm trust and desire, ensuring we stay engaged for life. Let me give you another example for a supplement client. Let's say they sell gym supplements. Most will exclude the buyer of, say, a pre-workout supplement from a campaign that sells that same pre-workout supplement, because they think they will complain, they will unsubscribe or whatever. But these guys are the ones who need it the most. These guys are the ones we have to keep reinforcing their belief, their conviction. And if not, they'll simply go elsewhere. And we don't want that. So I recommend, if you're sending an email selling product X, do not exclude buyers of product X from those emails. If the emails are good, assuming the emails are good, if the emails create conviction, they build trust and they build desire, then you should include those past buyers into the segment to reinforce that belief, reinforce that conviction through time, so you don't ever lose them and so you retain them forever. So hopefully I did a good job at driving this idea home, because it is just so important. Retention starts before the first purchase is ever made. If customers only buy from you once, it's not because they forgot about you. It's because they never really cared to begin with. And that is a problem that we can fix. That is under our control. Marketing is under our control. If we have low email opens, low clicks, low sales, we cannot control that. What we can control is sending and creating better emails. Now, let me give you one last piece of insight as a reward for sticking to the end. The best way we've found to build conviction is through text-based emails, not through designed emails. And so I created a playlist with my best videos in which I break down even more examples of text-based emails like the one I show you. So you can start creating and sending high-converting text-based emails, create trust, create desire, and have email marketing become a reliable source of revenue, source of profit for your brand. The link is going to be somewhere now in the video or in the description. I'm Matthias Pirelli. See you in the next video.